Hey guys, Kev here, and I have another battle for you. This is the Blade Battle, the Battle of the Hypsters. Get it? Instead of hipsters, the Hypsters? Anyway, I got this Arius recently, and I'm kind of milking it for everything it's worth right now in terms of videos. While I have it here, because I'm probably going to trade or sell it, I figure I might as well knock out some Blade Battles, and I literally just did one with the FSD from Brown Knives, and that won the FSD. But I want to do another one. This here is the Oz Machine Company Roosevelt, probably the most coveted knife in the knife world right now, at least if you're into the more high-end production, custom type stuff. And the Arius, which has been the reigning king of the hyped knife in the community, for good reason on both of these, just saying, they're hyped. So, let us get into the battle, and here comes the intro, guys. Right back in a second. All right, so now it's time for the battle. Let the battle begin. And, of course, as usual, you'll see the categories here. We have materials, price, perceived value, aesthetics, ergos, carry, cutting, sounds, action, fit and finish, and leftability. As always, if you're right-handed, feel free to remove this category and add them up as is. This is all my opinion, of course, so take everything with a grain of salt. You guys all know I'm an idiot, so let's get on with it. Materials. So we have titanium and a Damascus clip that is anodized, which is sexy. We also have a titanium backspacer, titanium slabs, and LC200N or Z-Finite steel. Here we have titanium, and 20 CV steel. So both are fantastic running on bearings. I think both are on Delrin bearings, actually, or something really similar. Now, I do think that it needs to go to this guy for two reasons. One, I just think the uniqueness of the LC200N is important here. I want to see more of this from makers. He's now using MagnaCut, which I think is fantastic, and so is Koenig. So it kind of evens it out there. But the LC200N, and then the obviously the Damascus backspacer just kicks this one up a little bit of a notch. But both are absolutely fantastic. So the Rosie is going to take that category. Then we have price. So the Arius, I believe, is going to win this guy. This one was $700 shipped and everything. This one, base was $500. I think the base of these is $600. Now the base of this is $700, and these are like six something. So it's very close. Now, this version with Damascus and everything was probably like $850. Now, I paid $1,100, and this was $700. So I think I just got to give it to the Arius on price. But I will say, for an outfit that has multiple employees, machines running all day, all that kind of thing with Koenig, the price is definitely close to the base of this. So I think Oz is doing really good, is what I think. I don't think these are too expensive. I just think he's doing really good. So, anyway, I think perceived value here, they're both very, very good in terms of secondary price. You can maybe make, a couple hundred off of this, but you can make, like, double off of this sometimes. These are going for, like, $1,500 right now with MagnaCut, and those are retailing for, like, $900 sometimes and selling for $1,500. So we got to give that one to the Rosie. Perceived value. This thing is just through the roof right now. Aesthetics. So this is where the fun begins. I think both of these are gorgeous looking knives. Really, I've always liked the Arius. But I will say, I think the Rosie has it a little bit here in the shape of the hole. That's one thing. I think it looks gorgeous closed, as well as open, which is important. This golf putter milling is just beyond sexy. It's my favorite thing right now on knives is his golf putter milling. The clip sets it off. All that anodizing sets it off. It's just a sexy knife. Now, the Arius is no slouch, guys. It really isn't. This texturing is gorgeous. All around, I think it is sexy, but I think it looks way better open than closed. And then, you know, the flipper tab and this lanyard dongle kind of, you know, is the reason I'm going to give it to the Rosie. Still a really sexy knife. Just saying, I got to pick one. Rosie. Ergos. So, we've talked about this before. I just did a battle, so I don't want to harp too much on the Arius here. Super comfortable in this back grip. Love the thumb ramp. Just extremely comfortable, guys. It really is. But the Roosevelt is a melt in your hand type of feel for me. Now, some people say that about the Arius, so fair enough. But you have a choil here, and you just can't argue with me that a choil isn't better than a not a choil. You know, plus the size for me is just a little bit better. A large glove size hand. It is a smaller knife at 3.1 inch blade, but feels fantastic in the hand. Just excellent in terms of ergos. And so is the Arius, but you have a flipper tab and all that stuff in the way of the blade. So going with the Rosie on ergos. Carry. Easy home run for the Rosie. It's thinner. It carries almost all the way deep. Like you have that much sticking out of your pocket. It's thin, lightweight, just no flipper tab, nothing, right? This has a very shallow carry. You have this thing sticking out. I still don't understand why they added that thing instead of just having, you know, I don't know, whatever. Flipper tab, you know, it's heavier because it's bigger. Just makes sense. The Rosie wins this one. Cutting. So I have extensive experience with the Rosie. I don't have so much with the Arius. Both are going to cut well, but just look at that stock difference. I mean, to me, that's the indicator here. This is basically a full flat grind. This is a hollow grind, so it does get super slicey behind the edge. But having that choil to choke up on and everything, I just think the Rosie's going to do better in terms of cutting. Now, I will say that on this, I do prefer the blade shape on this for cutting because you have straight, then belly, then tip, right? Now, I don't love having belly up to the tip, but this just is all belly. You know what I mean? You slip out of cuts a little easier with this than you do with that. So that is one category where I would take the Arius over the Rosie. And you know what? I think that's actually going to be enough to give the Arius the win here because that amount of straight edge is just so much nicer, in my opinion, than having none. So we're going to go with Arius on cutting, even though I've never used it, really. So, you know, grain of salt. Sounds so good. When you get to this level of just like sort of basically production custom, the sounds are incredible, guys. The FSD I showed you in the last video, the Arius, this Trevor Burger Urban, like they all just sound so good. But here's the Arius again. Kind of sounds like a shotgun going off sometimes. Here's the Rosie. So there's something to be said for the sound this makes. Just very satisfying. It almost sounds like a double tap. But I do think the Arius has it in like, it's a little louder, right? A little more like gun-like, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to give it to the Arius. Action. So this is tricky because the Arius is fantastic. Detent is on point for the flipper tab, and of course it drops shut. You can reverse flick it, but that Detent is just a little too strong for that. Now, would I prefer it too strong than too light? Yes. But the Rosie, it has that double Detent system in there, and it just makes for such a good reverse flick, in my opinion. just feels so good, so satisfying. Now, it doesn't drop shut, but it's extremely smooth, and then it, you know, drops nicely. This could be breaking in, right? Has a little bit of a grit sound. I mean, you could almost hear nothing, right? So I got to give this to the Rosie. I just like the action a little better. On some of them, the newer ones, I would say the Detent is a little too weak. They dialed it so that it would drop shut more on those. So it drops a little more than this one. But the Detent is a little weaker, and it almost feels too weak. Like it's easy to fail almost. Can I fail this? Yeah. No, maybe not. Especially left-handed because I have a little pressure on the lock bar. But the action on these is just, I don't know. There's just something different about it. And as much as I love guillotines and how much I like that, I just like this better. So action is going to the Rosie. Fit and finish. So again, guys, this one's tough. They're both fantastic. They're both centered. They're both dialed in. They both have beautiful milling patterns. They've just done such a good job here. I really don't have much to say other than I have heard some people say like the swedges on the Roosevelts are a little off on one side than the other. Like you can see maybe it's a little thicker on this side than that side. Mine looks good though, honestly. Dead centered, you know, just they're so good. Both of them, I think, are absolutely fantastic in terms of fit and finish. So I don't know where to go here. My only thing would be maybe this clip because of that Damascus. And I don't know how hard this is, but getting that green in there and having that look good on Damascus, I think is hard because I don't see it done a lot. You either see like just black and gray Damascus or you see like a rainbow ano on just titanium, right? You don't see it a lot with this kind of coloring, matching screws and shit. So that touch alone, along with the fact that these come with a mirror edge, I think sets it over just a little bit than this, but extremely well on the Arius. Almost a tie, I'd say, but that clip kind of wins for me here. So leftability. So this one again is going to go to the Rosie easily. I don't want to just sit and just pound the Arius here because it's a lovely knife. It's so good, guys. But you have to be on the clip to reverse flick it. You have to be. You can't climb up here to lefty reverse flick it. You have to be on the clip or up on the pivot, which is really hard to do. I can't really, I'm still putting pressure. You know what I mean? It's almost slipping out of my hand there, but it works. You can flick it easily with the flipper. You just got to stay up the lock bar, and the thumb flick is fantastic. Again, if you're left-handed and you like thumb flicking, this is a great knife for you. But the Rosie, I can reverse flick it like a dream. And that's the thing I want to do personally. So it could maybe do nothing else but reverse flick lefty, and it's better. You know what I mean? Now, I can thumb flick it. You know, do I have to give it a little wrist? Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know. But anyway, I usually just kind of, you know, give it, my finger's getting caught, just give it a little flick like that. But again, I'm just doing this. And I can be on the lock bar. You know what I mean? That's the important thing. I can pick this knife up and flick it. This, I pick up, I can't flick because I'm on the lock bar. So I got to go, I got to pick it up, get down to the clip and flick, right? End of the world? No. For me, yes. So best way for me to put it, Rosie wins that one. And let's see who our winner is. Somehow I've managed to do both these videos without banging a knife together. So we'll see if that holds up. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I thought it had more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-3, baby. Rosie is the winner of the Battle of the Hypsters. So again, guys, you could remove leftability. bang, Arius is now 7-4, right? For you, maybe your bigger hand, the ergos are better. Boom. We're at 6-5. And then something else in here maybe wins for you, like, I don't know. The action or sounds or something. So, actually, I gave the sounds to the area. So, you could easily bend this your way with your opinion, of course. I just love the Rosie so much. I'm honestly trying to trade this for another one if I could. But I probably won't be able to because these are just more rare and harder to find. So, yeah. Absolutely do love the Arius, guys. It's just not for me personally. So I'm not trying to sit here and be bashing on it. I just have this right now, and I want to get some battles out there on it because I've been asked to do that before, and I just never keep them long enough to do anything with them. So there you go. The Rosie wins, but both are utterly fantastic knives. As I've said, guys, this might as well be America's knife at this point. America's high-end knife, so to speak. It's really, in the production realm, because technically that's what this is, it's really the only thing that kind of keeps the balance to where American knife making is up there next to China. Like, you have Riot making knives like the Mini Tempest, which I think are utterly just fantastically built. I mean, the fit and finish, the chamfering, all that stuff, the action. I mean, guys, this is close to what the Arius is bringing you. And China, CKF, what they're doing with them, they're up there, guys. But I think the Arius just, it kind of just, it keeps those Chinese companies at bay, where, other than the Arius, I mean, if you look at all the high-end American production company, I'm saying production because this is clearly way better, but this is more like a custom, right? Medford, CRK, Hinderer, all those brands, they're nowhere near this, right? Like, I hate to say that. I know a lot of you guys love those brands, and this is my opinion, of course, right? So take it with a grain of salt, but this knife is so much better than any of those. All of those, right? But the Arius and what Koenig is doing, just, it separates it. You know what I mean? It keeps America on top, so to speak. So I got to give Koenig props for that. You got to give Bill Koenig props for that. This knife is just utterly built to perfection. So, whether you like the design or not is another factor, right? But the build quality, everything, what they're doing there for the price, I think is incredible. You can get some Medfords cost more than this or the same. Like, my one Slim Midi was the same price as this, basically. I think it was $50 less. Like, come on. This thing is so much better in terms of build quality, fit and finish, just actually nailing detents and things like that people care about. So, yeah, I know I just hurt some feelings. I'm sorry. But I'm glad that that's the case. You know what I mean? I think it's a good thing for us. But more companies need to strive to be like Koenig, And that's what I think Oz is doing, right? So, yeah, I just thought I just locked it up. I mean, you can lock this up if you're, like, right up here. Oh, never mind. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic day. Let me know what you think in the comments between these two. And is this America's night? I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.